Out in the Western Caribbean, in the autonomous nation of Guna Yala, aka the San Blas Islands, I and my good friend April joined with a group of indigenous guides in a handmade indigenous sailing canoe called an Ulus. We learned to sail it for 5 days, island hopping the massive archipelago of Guna Yala, where we camp on remote islands, learn to forage like the Guna Indians, snorkel and freedive the magnificent coral reefs, and explore the underwater wonders and marvels. So come join us on our grand adventure in the Ulus Sailing Canoe. Good morning, Internet. I am in Panama City, coming back to my adventures again, and this is a trip that I've been organizing for the last month in Panama, where we're going to be renting an indigenous sailing canoe to sail the San Blas Islands. We got a whole bunch of things we got to do today. First thing, we got to go to the agency to make the final payments, and then we're going to go check out around town in Panama City, and then I'll show you guys a bit more of what we're about to do. I've had a long time interest in sailing canoes, including building my own back in the States. I find them to be fast, efficient, and elegant, which is how I like my adventure equipment to be. Which isn't what my current sailing canoe looks like here in the backyard. Frankly, it looks like some hobo stuck some bamboo and a trashy plastic tarp on it, but hey. So I went to meet up with April in Panama City. And we went to meet with our guide, Nemesio, from X-Trope Adventures. Nemesio pulled out a nautical chart of Guna Yala to show us our route. We were going to sail and island hop about 5 islands, about 32 kilometers, for 5 days in the sailing canoe. After that, we went to check out what Panama is famous for, one of the greatest engineering marvels in the world, the Panama Canal. Oh, that's a trip. Both of these boats are moving at the same time, crossing in front of us. After that, it was time for one last touch of civilization. Hot pot and karaoke night with some old friends of mine from my previous adventures riding a bicycle across South America. Yeah, as much as I like karaoke, it was really time for us to get the hell out of the concrete jungle of Panama City. So April, me and Nemesio just finished shopping for our food and our gas for our great adventure into the Guna Yala in our indigenous sailing canoe. Say hi, April.
Hi.
And this is our guide, Nemesio.
Hola.
And our conductor,
Edwin.
Edwin. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
Time to get out of the concrete jungle. Yeah! We are almost at the Atlantic side. Looks like probably another 10-15 kilometers, I think, from here.
Yeah,
The
maybe
way it
another
looks.
hour on this road.
Yep, probably another hour. So, this is an incredible view up here. ¿Al volcán?
Golfo.
Oh, Golfo. Sí.
La primera isla Cartí,
Yeah.
segunda isla Molatuco y la tercera isla donde quedamos.
Tercera isla, yeah.
Ya, al día siguiente vamos para esa dirección por allá.
¿Por dónde?
Después
Oh, pues. Ah, yeah.
casi no hay viento para la vela.
Paddling. ¿Cómo se llama? Con brazos. We have arrived. And we are now unloading our stuff. And oh, it's about to begin. Here's the port. We are in Guna Yala, which is an autonomous nation. They have their own laws here. The government of Panama does not really reach out here. And we're gonna go see our boat. Let's see our boat. And that's our guy doing the motor. And we're off.
Let me see, let me video you for a moment. Hi.
Hello.
Tell me what you're most excited about.
I am most excited about the canoe sailing, hopping the islands.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
It's because it's a dream I've had for almost 20 years to do something like this. Now I'm finally doing it.
20 years!
After unloading our gear, Nemesio took us to see our vessel for the trip. Not that one. Estás caminando cerquito de eso. Mi pensamiento fue, ah, es un poco pequeña. Y aquí está nuestro bote. Hermosa.
Sí. So this is our boat. As you can see, it is a wooden dugout canoe indigenously made from one of the logs that are native to Panama. Handmade. Used probably axes, burning, and axes. It's rigged up with a sail, and it's kind of a gaff rig style sail. There's no rudder, which means it has a crew of two, although he says you can crew with just one. So one person has to be the skipper and one person has to be the reefer, essentially. This is great. Es muy bien. Sí. Nemesio is guiding us around the boat, how they do it, native style. Yeah. ¿Qué son esos? ¿De dónde cacao?
Sí, cacao de
Oh, cacao. Oh.
Ellos lo usan para...
¿Es la base
chicha.
aquí?
Chicha?
En tierra firme.
Ah, en tierra firme.
Yo buscar valite.
We're going to learn how to sail this after lunch.
Yeah.
These are our oars. ¿Eso es para nosotros? ¿Eso es para usar? A ver. So this is a native oar, handmade. It's definitely heavier than a canoe oar. Oh, this is going to be fun. Yeah. Yeah, and this is probably wide. Nemesio, cuando estábamos
Si el viento...
como aquí.
Él te va a enseñar.
Yeah, por favor.
¿Cómo es el
Sí.
proceso?
Si la brisa, el viento es por allá,
Yeah.
la vela se va por este lado,
Sí,
así
ese-
que el remo
Ese
pone
lado
de este
con el
lado.
viento es ese
Ajá.
lado.
Si la vela
Bueno.
está así, ¿ya?
Yeah.
Si la brisa viene de otro lado,
Otro lado. De ese lado.
de este lado.
Lógico.
Uno ve la vela,
Yeah.
eso va a depender del viento. Así que si el viento es por acá,
Yeah.
la vela se va de
Ese
ese lado.
lado.
Así
El
que
viento
remo
aquí,
así.
ese lado. Bueno.
Si la brisa es por allá,
Yeah.
si es normal, si se va así o se va de este lado.
Bueno. Bueno pues.
Entonces hay que ponerle la esponja aquí.
Ah, hay asientos. Yeah, eso es mejor entonces.
After lunch, we took the boat out for a training sail. We would sail for a few miles and then come back.
Bueno, ahí no está inundando.
To make a long story short, I messed up steering the boat, got seasick, threw up, and fed the fish. Then we came back. That's me laying on an island midway from seasickness.
Yeah, same. I was just thinking about when I threw up and went, you know what, I'm glad. At first I thought, because I used to be one of those, let's go far. Right. But this time I'm thinking, you know what, let's take it easy. I think that's a great idea. Take it easy. It's a vacation.
Yeah. And like you're hanging out with someone who's not like ever gonna like be like, let's go hard.
Yeah. That's usually me.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, no. I'm taking it easy.
Yeah.
Alright, we got our sleeping space set up for the first night. April's got her stuff over there. She even has this dope chair.
I feel like I don't get any ocean breeze. You might get more breeze than I do over here.
Yeah?
But you probably need that more than I do.
Yeah. The next morning, we got up and got ready for our first island destination.
Ah, sí. Ya, bueno.
So today we're only using half of the sail. This is their method of reefing. Because the winds are coming from the south, so they're coming up at about 6 kilometers an hour. Oh, looks like no, we're actually using the whole sail. Never mind that. If the wind gets any higher, though, we will be using half the sail. Their method of reefing is dropping from the top, not from the bottom. And Burns Helpers is testing the sheet.
But first, we had some last-minute instructions from Bernd, the other motorboatman, who is the owner of the sailing canoe that we're renting. Bernd is a real fountain of information, mainly because not only did he build the canoe, he also had it freshly painted for us.
Okay. Entonces tú puedes sentar como aquí, solamente levanta por aquí y por allá para ver cómo se aventaja por el viento.
Sí,
Sí.
Que turbina. Bueno, la soga, eso también va a depender del viento.
Sí.
Si el viento está a favor, puedes echar un poco para que la vela tenga buena brisa.
de esa dirección.
Sí.
Que pegue ahí.
Así mismo. Si vea que la brisa está un poco en contra,
Yeah.
puedes jalar así,
Yeah.
para que va bien,
Okay.
para que agarra la brisa, ¿no?
Bueno, eso depende de la instrucción del
Sí.
Nemesio, obviamente.
Eso
Sí.
depende del capitán.
Depende del capitán. Bueno. Bien, pues.
Listos.
Listo.
Ponemos en la dirección.
Izquierda. Oh, eso está poniendo por allá. Bueno.
Que suena.
Hola!
Hola.
Oh, you can't see you guys because of the way the light is.
After sailing in 6-kilometer winds for about 4 hours, we finally saw our first island destination for the day.
And Bernd, who's our motor boatman, is showing off his skills. He just single hands this thing like nobody's business around the island after we land. We did 4 hours, 12 kilometers. Not bad. Okay, so according to Nemesio, we started off here at the island. ¿Cómo se llama? Nordo? Nordo, which is his home island. And then we cruise with the wind. ¿Cómo fue la velocidad del viento? ¿Qué piensas? 6 kilometros por hora?
Sí.
And we got here to this island. Esa isla es de
Aquí ahora es Anmardo.
Anmardo. And that's 12 kilometers? 12 kilometers we've done. Típicamente cuando estás en grupo de kayak, ¿cuánto es lo mismo? ¿Sí?
Puede ser más, 100 kilómetros porque vamos para acá.
Por acá,
bajamos
por
todo
aquí.
el día. Esto puede ser como 14 kilómetros. como
14. ¿Cuántas horas? Kayak.
8 horas.
8 horas.
4 horas en la mañana, 4 horas en la tarde.
4 in the morning.
Para almorzar en el camino.
And 4 in the evening. Bien.
Well, you didn't say how long we did it.
Oh. Y nos hicimos este viaje con la vela en 4 horas. Yeah, 4 hours. Not bad.
Since we got there at lunchtime, we decided to grab a delicious fresh fried fish, freshly caught locally, rice, and a salad lunch from the Bungalow Cafe on the island. Afterwards, April went to snorkel a bit around the island, while I went to study the sailing canoe a bit more. Then it was my turn to check out the coral reefs and life. What a day! After a day full of sailing, snorkeling, and freediving, April cooked dinner for the evening, which we enjoyed to a very pretty view.
Well, buen provecho. Thank you for cooking. So, I just just talked to Nemesio, and he told me that those two islands that you can see over there, one on the left, one on the right. Our destination is the one on the right today. It's a little bit less than 12 kilometers. The storm earlier had been pushing westwards, which is interesting, and now the prevailing winds that are easterly are pushing it back across. So we should have some decent winds coming across. Yep. A little bit less than 12 kilometers, and we're gonna leave at probably around 11:30 because we're watching the weather right now. But so far so good. La vida bella.
We had to wait another hour for the storm to pass since it was over the island. Once the storm cleared a bit, we were off to the races. But unfortunately, the winds died down so much that we had to paddle a chunk of the way. The winds were sporadic. Sometimes it picked up, like this, and we could sail. Along the way, we saw the Guna using the Ulus as their workboats, like this fishing duo. And then the wind died down, and we had to paddle. Or actually, because the waves were much bigger today, and I didn't have my eyes locked on the horizon as the helmsman like I did the day before, my seasickness picked up, making me paddle to calm my stomach down. Soon we were at our midway point, an island to have lunch on. After another fresh meal of lentils, rice, and fried fish, we had coconuts for dessert. And then we left the lunch island. But the wind was super light, and we had to paddle. As we sailed to our island campground, we noticed the coral reefs were getting thicker and richer. There are coral heads everywhere, and they're super shallow, which made it more difficult to navigate. The wind finally picked up late in the afternoon, around 4 p.m., and we saw our campground in sight. It was a tiny island with sparse coconut trees. Back as the helmsman, steering the canoe helped me calm my stomach down. We got to the island, set up camp, and I went to cook some dinner. I made some comfort food of spaghetti and olives. Meanwhile, April went to scout out the coral reefs surrounding the island. The current is a lot stronger here. We also made a new friend.
Bye-bye.
I love Jack Russells.
Oh, you just came right to me. Oh. Oh.
We had dinner and wrapped up the day talking about me getting seasick again and what I was doing to get through it.
I got seasick today. Well, today I figured out that I have to paddle to control it, some kind of physical activity. That helps me out a lot. And once I got it under control, I'm good. But I gotta get it under control by paddling. Captain, not so much because you just try to hold and steer. Yesterday was easy because we were going up and down. Today we were going up and down. up and down. And I was just gonna kind of go like, okay, I see the island, how fast can we get there? I just put it in my mind, I'm not gonna throw up, I'm not gonna throw up, I'm gonna get to the island, I'm not gonna throw up, I'm not gonna throw up. I keep repeating that in my head, over and over and over. And then when I start feeling it start to build, that's when I'll just start paddling. That's why we start to paddle, just to try to keep our mind off of, feeling. And then once the paddling starts, I guess it's, what's that? It's called, endorphins. Once the endorphins kick in, it kind of smooths out the feeling of the nausea. I think that's what's doing it when I do the exercise. So it smooths it out. Once it smooths it out, I'm good.
Well, you're quite frantic today.
Hopefully tomorrow will go smooth. Tomorrow should be an easy day. Just snorkel and go around that island, real close to us and back. Or go and camp on that island.
All in all, it was an excellent day 3. Tomorrow we're going to check out an island about 2 or 3 kilometers away with fantastic coral reefs and life for snorkeling and freediving. Day 4 saw me get up before sunrise to try some fishing. Vern was up too, saw me fishing, and he showed me how to find some local bait.
Oh, pero ese fresco. Yeah, vamos.
Pero no como aquí.
But it was Victor who caught the bait we were going after. Just showed me a local technique where they dig out these crabs, and he dug one out for me. I'm going to try this out for fishing today. ¿Así? ¿Esas partes puedo cortar eso, usa eso luego?
Sí, también.
Porque hay más conservador eso. So I gave it another try, but I still got skunked. Victor, on the other hand, caught lunch. 2 red hinds, a type of small grouper in the reefs. After fishing and breakfast, it was time to head out for the day. After landing on the beach, we put on our gear and headed into the water. prevailing winds made it difficult for us to tack back to our island campout, so Bern tugged us back to save on time. Back at the island, Bern and Victor wanted to show me another kind of bait, conch, a type of sea snail. Vamos, boy. I'm going fishing with Bern. He's going to show me how to fish traditional style, Guna Yala. He's going to use my rod and reel, and I'm going to use his hand line. And we just chopped up a conch to use for bait. Hopefully my luck should be a lot better on this one. So we didn't get skunked. Bern managed to catch a squirrelfish. I'm going to fry it up. After dinner, we made a campfire with April as the master of embers. Nemesio continued to tell us more origin stories of the Guna before we headed to sleep. So our plan today is the wind is against us, and we are going to motor to the island where we had lunch the day before we got here. And then if the wind changes, we're going to try and sail a little bit back to Nerville. If not, we might have to motor back to Nerville. But right now the prevailing winds are pushing northeast, and we have some winds coming off the land, so that makes it really hard. I had a hard time yesterday keeping course because we were tacking in the wind, and when you're holding the control paddle, the force of the water pushes it out constantly. So I'm pretty worn. And I know April wants to captain today, but I don't think she wants to fight against the current like I was doing it. So we'll see how today goes. But first, I did some more fishing and finally scored. Finally got one. It was finally time to head back, so we broke down camp, loaded everything onto the panga. We also hooked up the sailing canoe, but first, Nemesio had to take down the sails and spars and get it ready to go.
Llegué vivo. Sí. Vamos a tow. There were some reefs we still wanted to explore along the way, and since we weren't on a real schedule, we did a few snorkel stops. With the fish that Bern and I caught along the way, once we got back home to the island, I got started with dinner. So it looks like they have lemongrass, which you can see here, and we caught this fish. I am going to cook for everyone Vietnamese style fried fish. It's chopped lemongrass and garlic with cutlets. I'm going to fry it up.
What are you doing, Dave?
I am making food from the fresh catch that we caught today for all of us. As a way of saying thanks. It's been like my form of intercultural exchange.
And what's in there?
There is amberjack, bonito, and I think another, like a rainbow runner is the name of the fish. And then there's lemongrass and garlic and salt, which is Vietnamese style. At least that's what I grew up with.
I'll do the more salt.
Okay. You can stop it. And here we are at the finish of the trip, and there's a rainbow.
Because April wanted a rainbow. Because I wanted a rainbow. Ask Go Yetis. I've been looking for it all day.
Sunsets on Nurdu Island. It's been a fantastic trip. I made dinner for Victor, Bern, Nemesio. I made a Vietnamese style fish with lemongrass and salt and garlic with the bonito and jacks that we caught along the way back. Gave my thanks. I always do that. I always give thanks to the guide and to the boatman and the guy who rented us the sailing canoe, which we couldn't do this trip without. And yeah, been a good day, good trip. It's off to the jungle next.
Thanks for watching the video. If you like what you saw, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. And feel free to check out my blog at dnadventures.com.